Good evening and welcome to ABC 31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Tonight's big story, the annual Holocaust commemoration is approaching in central Louisiana. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has a story from a local memorial site.
Construction began on the Holocaust Memorial in downtown Alexandria between 2008 and 2009. It was completed in 2013, and since its completion, the annual Holocaust commemoration has been held at the site.
This is so important because 72 years ago, the camps were being liberated by President Eisenhower, who was involved in the Louisiana maneuvers and stayed at the Hotel Bentley right down the block. So it's very personal to central Louisiana. But it also is relevant. We've had genocides in Cambodia and Bosnia, and the movie The Promise is actually coming out this week, which talks about the genocide of the Armenian Christians by the Turkish government. So it's something that we remember every year to make sure it never happens again.
3 markers surround the memorial, explaining central Louisiana's connection with the Holocaust, along with words from individuals who were held in concentration camps. An 18-foot marble obelisk stands in the middle, and the number 18 holds a specific meaning.
The numbers for the Hebrew 18 means life, so we thought that was very symbolic. But let me quickly tell you, there are few cities our size, if any in the world, that have a memorial of this nature, size, complexity, and beauty. So we in Alexandria, Pineville, are extremely proud of this memorial to the Holocaust.
This year's Holocaust commemoration will be held on Monday, April 24th. The event will begin at 6 p.m. downtown Alexandria, right here at the Holocaust Memorial on the corner of Elliott and 4th Street. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
An Alexandria man is the victim of a 5-vehicle fiery crash in West Baton Rouge Parish yesterday afternoon. 26-year-old Ronald Allen died in the crash on Interstate 10. It happened when a Freightliner approached congested traffic and struck the rear of an SUV. That set off a chain reaction, sandwiching Allen's car into an 18-wheeler, causing a fire that engulfed the 3 vehicles. Troopers say the Freightliner failed to slow down when approaching those other vehicles. Alexandria police make an arrest in the death of a homeless man last Saturday. The suspect is 44-year-old John Matthews of Alexandria. He's charged with manslaughter in the death of 27-year-old Anthony Session. Police say Session's body was found on East Texas Avenue. Police said the investigation determined the 2 men had been involved in an altercation. Rapids deputies have arrested a man and a woman for theft in the Gardner area. They're 48-year-old Richard McComick of Boyce and 50-year-old Patricia Pickering of Pineville. Deputies say it happened at a convenience store, and when the 2 were approached about suspicious behavior, they fled into the woods. They were arrested yesterday while walking on St. Clair Road. A reward of up to $7,000 is being offered for help in locating the person responsible for vandalizing and burning a LaSalle Parish loggers equipment. The reward is offered by the State Forestry Association as well as the owner. It happened between April 14th and 16th at the logging site near Ernest Watley Road in the Bela community south of Gina. Well, warm, humid conditions stick around for another day. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers has your weather now.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, definitely seeing those much warmer weather out there, and also the more humidity, too. Those dew points have been increasing into the mid-60s here late this afternoon. A little more mugginess to our forecast, and that will continue as we head into the weekend, too. Do see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms popping up around central Louisiana, but in the next hour or 2, most of that activity will die down as the sun goes down as well. So we lose the heating of the day. We'll see temperatures, though, drop back into the 60s overnight. A little fog developing, too. Could see a few isolated storms tomorrow afternoon once again. Better chance of rain really comes in for Saturday as a cold front comes through the area. It could be strong to severe. I think we'll be more on the strong side than severe side here in central Louisiana, with more sunshine and much cooler weather returning by the time we get to Sunday. Now, taking a look at our future radar then does show a line of showers and thunderstorms develop across our area. And right now I just see, again about this time, just a few scattered showers out there right now. But we'll watch a line well to our north and to our west as that pushes a little bit further to our south and east over the course of the weekend. That's when showers and thunderstorms come back into our forecast. Looks like some strong ones could be around on Saturday afternoon. And we'll talk more about that with your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Governor John Bel Edwards is working on creating a budget for the upcoming fiscal year.
The shortfall of state general fund for next fiscal year, the year that starts July 1st of 2017, that shortfall is about $440 million. Obviously, we need to craft a budget that maintains our critical investments in the priorities, whether it's higher education, TOPS, healthcare, you name it. The bigger problem is July 1st, 2018, and we would have to have a special session before then. We can't just allow $1.3 billion of revenue to evaporate on us.
And the governor says he is going above and beyond to prevent any revenue dollars from disappearing. Louisianans for Prison Alternatives, a nonpartisan coalition for justice reform, rallied at the state capitol. Many women shared their stories about how they lacked educational opportunities in prison and how hard their transition back into society was after being released. The Public Service Commission could regulate cable TV service in Louisiana if a new bill in the legislature is passed.
It's a jurisdictional issue, and what that means is we have to find out whether we have the authority or not under the bodies of law that exist to actually regulate. We think we might, and if so, the wonderful part about the Public Service Commission is that we are considered a consumer agency. So the commission helps everyone to get good services at the lowest possible price. That would allow us to be able to give another layer of oversight, if possible, to something we all need, which is cable telecommunications, to be able to make sure the services are done well, that there's a plan to keep good, steady, reliable service that the people can use and utilize and at a reasonable rate.
HB 537 by Representative Hilferty would require cable and video service to be regulated by the PSC. Central Louisiana bids farewell to a well-known social worker who helped to pioneer assistance for homeless women and their children in the area. Services were held today for Wanda Chicola Ozier of Alexandria, who died last weekend after an extended illness. She had been most recently the head of Local Volunteers of America agency. However, she was especially known for her organizational work at Hope House. She is survived by her 3 children and 4 grandchildren. Secretary's Day was originally started in 1952, but it's still celebrated today.
It will be this year at the Alexandria Convention Center, which is formerly the Psy. It's next to the Baymont Inn on MacArthur Drive, and it's on Wednesday, April 26th.
And the time of the luncheon?
11 to 1.
And I was noticing in your information a lot of prizes.
Lots of prizes. We have 2 grand prizes this year, which will be 2 $500 Visa gift cards, so they can do what they want to with that. But we have lots of other prizes.
As mentioned, this year's Secretary's Day celebration will be filled with prizes and food, and Cindy says it will be action-packed. Well, earlier today, Mark Villar from the Rapides Children Advocacy Center spoke to the Exchange Club about Child Abuse Prevention Month.
What we do is, what we have found over time is that many of the people that are abused, either adults or children, don't become part of the system. And we are here to try to help eliminate that abuse, break the cycle of abuse, help these families and these individuals heal so that they can move on and have a very happy, productive life.
The Rapides Advocacy Center is making a big impact on those who have been victims of abuse. Villar says they're anticipating working with around 900 children this year. Well, many of you may have received an Easter cactus as a gift last weekend. On this edition of Get It Growing, Dan Gill explains how this plant relates to those given as gifts around Christmas and even Thanksgiving.
You know, I've often told you about Christmas cactuses and Thanksgiving cactuses, and they bring so much color to that holiday season. But did you know there's also an Easter cactus that blooms around this time of the year? And here they are. Now, they're related to the Christmas and the Thanksgiving cactus. You can see that they look similar to them in their shape and how they grow, but the foliage is different. Look how the foliage has this sort of more smooth edge with little slight indentations, unlike the teeth that you actually see on the Thanksgiving and some of the Christmas cactuses. Now, these little plants will bloom all through this season. Look at all the buds on these. I wish the flowers were more apparent, but the flowers are a little different from the Christmas and the Thanksgiving cactuses. You can see here they produce more of a star-shaped flower, a single layer of petals in a beautiful, beautiful shape. The plants bloom for about a month or so around about this time of the year, and they come in a wide variety of colors, from fuchsia to white to red. Here's a pretty orange one right here, and they're really going to provide a lot of great color during this holiday season. Now, as far as care goes, when you get these plants home, put them in a nice sunny window, water them when the soil feels dry. If you water them too much, you're going to get rot occurring. This one is kind of rotting and falling apart because it was kept too wet. So don't keep them constantly wet. After they finish blooming, leave them in the window or put them outside on the shady patio. Take care of them through the summer, and they'll bloom for you again every year around about Easter time. So if you see some Easter cactuses at your nursery, think about buying some. They're lovely plants for blooming in the spring. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.
And for more information on other lawn and garden topics, call your parish LSU Ag Center Extension Service Office or visit the LSU Ag Center website at lsuagcenter.com and click on the Lawn and Garden button.
So if it wasn't you, who killed Michael Jackson?
This May on the Dr. Oz Show.
I just know there was a doctor in the house treating him and he ends up dead.
Gone too soon. What really happened to your favorite stars? Oz investigates. Fast food packaging alert.
Do these chemicals leach into your food and into your body?
Plus, Monday Dieter. Plans and detoxes to get you back on track by summer. All May on Oz.
Watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 11 on KLAX TV.
Today, President Trump welcomed the Prime Minister of Italy to the White House. Next month, the president will travel to the G7 in Sicily. World leaders are expected to address a number of crises, including Syria and North Korea. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Today, President Trump greeted another world leader at the White House, this time Italian Prime Minister Paolo Gentiloni, just a month before Italy hosts the G7. Syria, the U.S. military strikes, and the country's civil war expected to be at the top of the list. Trump's foreign policy challenges stacking up. Former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad criticized the U.S. strikes on Syria and the Iran nuclear deal. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson first said earlier this week Iran was complying, now promising to review the 2015 agreement.
This deal represents the same failed approach of the past that brought us to the current imminent threat we face from North Korea.
South Korea and the U.S. kicking off military exercises called Max Thunder as tensions rise on the Korean peninsula. Also new, China is now on heightened alert, getting bombers and airfields ready. Vice President Pence still in the region on his tour of Asia.
One of the greatest threats we face is the rise and spread of terrorism.
Secretary of Defense James Mattis also oversees in Israel on a Middle East tour, shoring up military relationships. Mattis defended the use of the mother of all bombs in Afghanistan last week, also saying there was no reason to count the number of dead ISIS fighters.
Frankly, digging into tunnels to count dead bodies is probably not a good use of our troops' time.
Next week, Secretary Mattis will brief Congress on the North Korean threat. The Trump administration taking on a number of provocations. This week, the U.S. intercepted Russian bombers just 35 miles off the Alaska coast. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
A manhunt is underway for a traitor inside the CIA. That agency and the FBI are investigating one of the worst security breaches in CIA history, involving the theft of documents and hacking tools. CIA sources say they're looking for an employee or contractor who had physical access to the information. Investigators are currently going through hundreds of names. Today marks the 7th anniversary of the Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico, which led to the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. On April 20th, 2010, an oil rig operated by British Petroleum exploded, killing 11 employees and spilling nearly 5 million barrels of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico. The spill was eventually capped that July, 87 days after more than 200 million gallons of oil leaked into the Gulf. Now to a break in a case that has captivated the nation. A Tennessee teen is safe. Her teacher turned alleged kidnapper now in custody. ABC's Ariel Reshef picks up the story from New York.
An agonizing ordeal coming to a close.
It's a good day.
15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas found alive and safe in a residence in a remote area of the northernmost county of California.
This morning, authorities in Siskiyou County followed up on a tip called into TBI headquarters late last night and found Elizabeth and arrested Tad Cummings. She will soon be on her way back home.
Siskiyou County Sheriff's deputies locating and rescuing the teen. Thomas has been the subject of a nationwide Amber Alert since March 14th. Her teacher, 50-year-old Tad Cummins, accused of having an inappropriate relationship with her, kidnapping her, then leading law enforcement on a cross-country manhunt. The two were spotted a day later in a Walmart in Oklahoma. More than a month after their disappearance, Cummins' family spoke exclusively with ABC News, pleading for him to return.
I hope that he realizes that we're still here and that it makes him realize that if he comes home that he's not coming home to nothing.
This morning, authorities locating the Nissan Rogue in which Thomas and Cummins had been traveling, later leading them to the pair. Tennessee authorities are now on their way to Northern California to pick up the teen and reunite her with her family. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
So hot and muggy, a little bit of a theme for us here lately.
Yeah, that's for sure. A little more summer-like temperatures in our field here in the next couple of days. Temperatures today into the mid-80s here late this afternoon. We saw those highs reach into the mid-80s, but that dew point increasing too put that heat index close to 90 late this afternoon. Yeah, I haven't talked about heat index for quite a few months, but definitely got that warm weather continuing as we head into the weekend. Could see some showers and thunderstorms around too, and we'll talk more about that when we come back.
Our military makeover recognizes the sacrifice of a deserving young Marine.
Tune in and learn about an American hero, the community and the companies who come together to give back.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening, too. Latest radar is showing a few showers and thunderstorms developing across parts of central Louisiana. You can see a heavier rain just down to our south and to our east. Now, majority of this rain is actually going to die out as we lose the heating of the day. But again, with warm and humid weather in the forecast here the next couple of days, could see a few more isolated showers and thunderstorms in our forecast tomorrow, but a better chance for Saturday as a cold front approaches our area on Saturday afternoon. So taking a look at our future radar then, again, we're going to be seeing a little bit of area of precipitation develop in parts of Oklahoma, also in Arkansas, and as that continues to push off to the south and to the east throughout Friday and into Saturday, could see that line of showers and thunderstorms into our area. Now, I stopped it here about 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and you're seeing that line just to the north and to the west of the Alexandria area. But again, the line's starting to break up a little bit. So I think our threat of severe weather, not really the best on Saturday. It looks like that severe weather will stay further to our north and to our east in parts of Mississippi and also parts of Tennessee as well. But again, could see some showers and thunderstorms. But once that cold front moves through, much colder temperatures definitely back in the forecast by Sunday. So as we get into your Friday, a little patchy fog to start with. And again, could see some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms like we're seeing today by Friday afternoon. Temperatures warm once again as highs get back into the mid to upper 80s. And we factor in those dew points into the mid to upper 60s. That's going to put the heat index very close to 90 on Friday afternoon. But again, scattered showers and thunderstorms come through the area on Saturday. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, but again, I think the severe threat will stay to our north and parts of northeastern Louisiana and then parts of Mississippi as well. Much sunnier weather back in the forecast on Sunday, but also cooler weather returning as well. So here's your surface map for your Friday. Again, really not much going on around our area besides just seeing more humid weather in the forecast. Those showers and thunderstorms staying to our north and to our west. Could see some severe weather in parts of Oklahoma on Friday, but again, not expecting any severe weather in our area until maybe on Saturday. And again, that looks like maybe more strong thunderstorms than really severe. Currently outside, mostly cloudy skies, 82 degrees, but look at that dew point, 66. And with that dew point at 66 degrees, yeah, that puts it right into the muggy category. This is a look at our impact number here for the dew point. And once you get above 60, you get more muggy out there. And when you get in the 70s, that's when it turns pretty steamy. And that makes our heat index then low to mid 80s across much of the area. But even seeing those heat index or feel like temperatures in the upper 80s in parts of Louisiana here late this afternoon. Before tonight, 66, mainly clear skies. Again, could see some patchy fog developing by tomorrow morning. South-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we head into our Friday, 84 degrees, maybe a passing shower in the afternoon, much like we're seeing today. But again, better chance of rain really comes in on Saturday, high in the upper 70s. And look at that on Sunday, temperatures drop back into the mid 60s. Yeah, much colder weather for at least one day on Sunday before we get back into the 70s to low 80s by the middle part of next week. Scott?
Thanks, Chris. Coming up in sports, see why an upcoming NSU baseball game has added meaning for one of the pitchers. And which LSU players are being projected to be drafted early. Find out next.
Stay connected with KLAX ABC 31. Visit us online anytime. Get today's top stories and trending topics. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. See our pics on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. And make KLAXTV.com your home for local news and information. Plus, download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charlie LaPastora. The NSU baseball team is prepping for this weekend series against number 23 McNeese. Saturday's game is the annual Fort Cancer game, where players will wear special colored jerseys. And for one player, this game means even more. Pitcher Tim Winders and his family thought Tim's dad, Dan, beat his fight against throat cancer last year in May. But then a month later, the NSU site reported that Dan learned the cancer had spread to his liver and lungs. It's been a journey for the family since. Dan said, quote, "You go to your faith, your family, and then comes work. I never had that before," end quote. Tim said, quote, "You have to have faith." It stresses the importance of what it really means, end quote. The NSU athletics program invited Dan to throw out the first pitch in Saturday's game. The jerseys that both softball and baseball teams will wear for Fort Cancer weekend will be auctioned off online and in person, with proceeds benefiting the local chapter of the American Society. NSU Athletics has brokered a partnership with the new Chateau St. Denis Hotel in Natchitoches Event Center downtown. The plan is to provide NSU Athletics to use the facilities and staging activities and hosting visitors, with the first being early May, when the Legends Gala will feature LSU football coach and former NSU football player Ed Orgeron. The NSU track team is prepping for the LSU Alumni Gold Meet on Saturday in Baton Rouge. NSU staff sat down with one of the freshmen of the team and asked what sport she'd be playing if it wasn't track.
It would probably be volleyball, because they're really tall and I can get my anger out on the ball, spike it down. So.
Did you play in high school?
Yeah, I did actually. I was front row spiker, which is, I'm short, but it's okay.
You could jump though.
Yeah, I could jump.
Yeah,
that's why.
Well, the NFL draft is quickly approaching, and some LSU players are making lists of some of the top prospects in the draft. Topping the list of top running backs for the draft is LSU running back Leonard Fournette, along with LSU safety Jamal Adams, who's being listed as the second-ranked defensive back. Now, don't be surprised if they are both drafted in that first round. Well, normally in baseball, if there's a walk-off homer, we'll show you that, or even a walk-off single is exciting. But what happened Wednesday night is something you really don't see every day. It was Detroit at Tampa. The Rays were down 7-6, bottom ninth. The bases loaded for the Rays. Logan Morrison up to bat, grounds to second for what would be a routine double play. Game over for the Rays, right? At least scoring one run to tie it, but the exact opposite happens. Ian Kinsler gets it to Jose Iglesias, tags second, but then trips while on the turn. The error would result in 2 runs for the Rays as they celebrate this bizarre Rays win. The Rays ended up sweeping the Tigers in a 3-game series with the help, of course, of this crazy win.
And that, kids, is why you always go ahead and run it out to first.
That's right.
Thanks, Charlie.
No problem.
Up next, an attention-getting dog, where you can see this pooch who's gathered a crowd.
ABC 31 KLAX, the exclusive provider of ABC programming in Central Louisiana. We are the only station where you can watch new, first-run ABC programs like Dancing with the Stars, Designated Survivor,
Strike the Enemy,
Grey's Anatomy.
Rays can deliver.
Damn right.
Hi, I'm Michael Bailey. Call me at the number on the screen. See how easy and affordable television advertising can be.
A pug is spotted riding a skateboard around a park in London. The dog can be seen picking up the board in his mouth, mounting the board, and skating up and down the park, much to the delight of onlookers. We're not exactly sure who owns the dog, but many believe the pooch is named Eric and is a talented animal with a dedicated online following. If so, he even has his own Instagram account where a series of photos shows him posing with a skateboard.
That was a good shot, that last one. He's looking back like, are you watching me or what?
He's got some talent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.
When it comes to cleaning up the streets of Boston,
this is who I am. This is what I do. Now get me in there. He did it, and I know where the proof is.
It's ladies first. Rizzoli and Isles.
Weekends at 11 on KLAX TV.
When a case seems unsolvable, they see the incredible. Murder, motive, secrets. Bones Weekends.
Watch Bones. Weekends on KLAX ABC 31.